Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the Sunday School Pre-Show Fireside Chat. I'm Elder Walter Jones. While the name of the author is unknown, the book of Esther was written by a Jew who was familiar with Persian customs and words. Mordecai or Ezra or even Nehemiah may have been the writer. Perhaps the original purpose of Esther was to tell the story behind the festival of Purim, which is still celebrated by Jews today. Anti-Semitism is hardly a modern phenomenon. And for untold centuries, Israel's embittered enemies have, with craft and cruel hatred, plotted the annihilation of the sons of Jacob. And they have plotted, and they've schemed and counseled together, but in the end, their treachery has only brought about their own demise. Their only lasting achievement has been an occasion for a new holiday on the Hebrew calendar. Such was the case with Pharaoh when the Lord instituted Passover. Such was the case with the defeat of Antiochus Epiphanes and the resulting feast of Hanukkah. Such was also the case with the defeat of Hitler, which paved the way for the emergence of the modern state of Israel and its annual Independence Day celebration. And it was also true of the Jewish feast of Purim and its institution in ancient Persia. Now, Purim is the Hebrew word for lots, in remembrance of Pur or Lot, cast by the wicked Haman to determine the month and day on which the Jewish people were to be killed throughout the mighty Persian Empire. So, in Daniel chapter 2, Nebuchadnezzar had a prophetic dream that featured a huge statue of a man whose form was awesome. The head of the statue was gold, its chest and arms of silver, its belly and thighs of bronze, its legs of iron, and his feet partly iron and partly of clay. Each section represented a kingdom. The head of gold was the kingdom of Babylon, ruled by Nebuchadnezzar himself, and the second section was to be a second inferior kingdom in which Daniel chapter 5 calls Medo-Persian Empire. In 587 BC, Jerusalem fell to King Nebuchadnezzar, who carried many of the people of Judah into exile in Babylon. In 539 BC, Cyrus the Great, the ruler of the Medo-Persian Empire, conquered Babylon and issued a decree permitting exiled people, including the Jews, to return to their homelands. Though many Jews returned, others continued to live throughout the Medo-Persian Empire. And so the events of the book of Esther took place during the reign of King Ahasuerus, which is Xerxes I. He ruled the empire. Then his son Artaxerxes I would later send both Ezra and Nehemiah to Jerusalem. Esther is unique because it is the only book in Scripture that does not mention the name of God directly. And this is because God wanted to use the book to show how his providence or his invisible hand works behind the scenes to bring about his purpose in history. So even though God is not on the front page of Esther, his fingerprints are all throughout the book. Join me and our wonderful superintendent, Ed Jackson, 9:30 Sunday morning for an in-depth study of the lesson. You can also give to our church, faithtempleevanston.org. Just go there on the website. At the top, you see donate, and you're able to give to our ministry. If you want a little more of the Sunday School lesson, you can also join myself and my brother, Elder Rodney Jones, and the elders in Chicago at 2:00 p.m. Central Standard Time for a Facebook Live study of the Sunday School lesson, which I call the Sunday School Recap. All right, I appreciate you. Look at the lesson. It's called Injustice Will Be Punished in your Powerful Living book here, Esther chapter 7, 1 through the 10th verse. Study it and meet myself and Elder Jackson 9:30 Sunday morning on Faith Temple Evanston Facebook Live. Always remember, God has not given you the spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. Sunday school still marches on. When the storm clouds form, hear the cries of doom and gloom, Sunday school still marches on. Then when the grass turns green and the flowers start to bloom, Sunday school still marches on. Marches on, marches on. Sunday school still marches on, marches on, marches on. Sunday school still marches, Sunday school still marches, Sunday school still marches.